Welcome back to another edition of Value My Vote 2011 One-on-One with the candidates. And we're joined today by 3rd District Councilman, Mr. Robert Bobby Curran. How you doing, sir?
Hassan, thanks for having us here in GCOM Media and On the Hill Media for this Value to Vote opportunity 2011 to have the candidates come on board and express what they've done and what they're going to do if elected.
I appreciate it. Well, we appreciate your time for coming out. You know, you're hot on the trails, door to door, still knocking. That's one thing about you. You never kind of give way to anybody. You're always there. You're always knocking on doors on election time and everything. You've been in office for a very long time. Why you want 4 more years? Why? What's your platform and vision over the next 4 years?
Well, Hassan, I have a advantage and disadvantage. The advantage of being an incumbent with a record that folks can explore and see what I've done and position I've taken on bills in City Council, issues I've moved forward, and also disadvantage because that folks might be against some of those issues and it has a negative effect. But I'm proud of my record of serving on City Council since 1995. I'm finishing up my 4th term, heading for re-election for my 5th term if I'm able to survive the primary and the general election process. Since 1982, I've been elected to the members Democratic State Central Committee, serving my 7th term on the Democratic State Central Committee, and formerly was vice chair of the Baltimore City Democratic Party. I think I've served with distinction. I'm going to tell you right up front that the mission statement of a city council person is to empower the communities that he or she represents, especially through land use issues. That's what it's all about a city council person. Obviously, you have citywide issues, which I think I've taken a lead in several citywide issues. I know one of the issues that we're working on recently is the 18-year-old charter amendment to have 18-year-olds serve on the Baltimore City Council. It was an issue we promoted with former Councilman Melvin Stooks, our delegate Melvin Stooks. Narrowly lost in the general election of 2004 to allow 18-year-olds to serve on the City Council. We reintroduced the bill again this year, lead sponsor. We had a hearing for it, and hopefully we'll get it done 2nd and 3rd read on July 18th. It'll be on the ballot again of 2011. But I've worked on a lot of citywide issues. First, I wanted to speak about some citywide issues. Still getting thanks from folks of the Clean Indoor Air Act that I promoted in 2007 to prohibit smoking in bars and restaurants at Baltimore City, which then triggered the state to do the same thing statewide recently after Baltimore City passed its legislation. Now, obviously, some people would smoke, but most of the folks that do smoke, they don't mind going outside in a bar and restaurant to do their smoke their cigarettes and cigars or whatever. But that's been, people are still thanking me because of that legislation, that landmark legislation, lives will be saved. The drastic effects of secondhand smoke was improving that it's deadly. Diseases associated with the use of tobacco is one thing, first-hand smoke if you smoke yourself, but the second-hand smoke, we were able to take the lead in Baltimore City. I've worked on that for 3 years. That's definitely going to improve the health and quality and welfare of the citizens by that measure. I'm still being thanked for that. Other citywide issues I'm taking on now, and hopefully I'll be able to be successful in the primary and general election process, is to try to get a handle on animal cruelty in this town. It's horrible when we see the animal cruelty when a dog is burned or a cat is burned or other problems with folks having animal cruelty issues with their pets and animals that they keep. But what you don't see is a routine day in, day out animal cruelty, which animal enforcement officers do, go out there and listen to complaints and investigate all these animal cruelty issues. So I've been working the last 2 years to help funding restored to the animal control last year and to animal services. And in particular this year, I was able to use my leverage through the budgetary process to get $91,000 in cuts that was given to the BARCs, which is the Baltimore Animal Rescue Care Shelter. They were going to lose 2 technicians. The euthanasia rate of animals in this town, about 10 to 12,000 animals are taken in every year at BARCs. Before they were come aboard 5-6 years ago, 98% of the animals were taken into the shelter or euthanized, set down. That rate now is less than 40%, around 38%. If they were lost to technicians this time, that rate would have gone up. But more importantly, I want to focus on, as chair of the health committee, the council president Jack Young has let me do. I'll be reintroducing a revision to the Baltimore City Animal Health Code in the next few weeks, and be working if successful for re-election, to help mitigate animal cruelty. Now, they are citywide issues. Local issues is what's all about with the council person. We're single-member districts. Public safety, I fought for years to have the Northeastern Police District, which is the largest police district in the city. Over 17 square miles is Northeastern Police District, especially Sector 2 of the Northeast Police District, which goes from the Oregon Drive on the south up to the county line, from the Alameda on the west to Belair Road, a huge sector with really only 7 posts. I've fought for years and tried to get an additional sector put into the Northeast Police District, and most recently, a few years ago, had the police department put a pilot program in Northeastern, which gave the 410 work shift, which allowed the Northeast Police Section on a pilot program to have a power shift of extra officers from like 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the evenings to augment their force. I fought for the sworn strength level of the Northeast Police District to increase it. It was referred to as years ago, Northeast Police District was referred to as a country club. But obviously, times have changed. 30, 40 years ago, when the district lines were drawn for the police department, things have changed in Northeast. It's not so much the concern about the murder rate in Northeast, which always gets highlighted, but I know my constituency pressed my button when the burglaries are increased. That is what really infuriates the constituency I serve up Northeast, is that burglary rate. You come home, you see your house broken into, you need to get the crime lab there and do issues like that. But so I've worked to help bolster the sworn staff level at the Northeast Police District. Additionally, I've worked with communities, and I say when you empower the communities in the 3rd district or any council district, other council members might have a different take on what they believe is their issues in the district. But for a council person, it's about empowering the communities through the liquor board issues, through the zoning board issues, and through issues of conditional use ordinances through the city council, where the communities are empowered to have the type of businesses they want in their district and in the commercial corridors. I'm very proud to work and have the Hamilton-Laurelville Main Street designation, joint designation done for the Hartford Road corridors. I've worked hard to get respected businesses into the Hartford Road corridor. Zeke's Coffee is one. Walk and Fuss Candy, which may not be names that you might recognize, but people up Northeast know about Zeke's and Walk and Fuss, so they know that these are kind of businesses that we want to do. The Hartford Road commercial corridor, I'll take no qualms in saying it's the cleanest commercial corridor in the city. The hokey guys, which are the guys that sweep the streets, last year during the budgetary process, they were going to be eliminated. And one of my issues for my vote for the budget last year, those hokey guys staying. Of course, they're staying this year. Nothing deters folks from coming to a commercial area when they see it filthy and trash on a daily routine basis. So I believe that I've done my job as a councilman empowering my communities in Northeast Baltimore. Worked with Morgan State University, which is a gem of my district. We worked on issues because Morgan State is landlocked. We make sure that Morgan State, because they're going to be increasing their undergraduates from 8,000 to 12,000 in the next few years. One of the problems that the residents in Perry Lock and the communities all around Morgan State University is that the parking, residential parking. Now, it may not seem like a big thing, but we were able to get a bill through the city council in between the semesters this past year, between the fall semester and spring semester, where we reduced the parking in the areas that were Area 2, the Morgan State University, to 1 hour versus 2 hours to free up the parking for the residents. It's been a bone of contention.
I know you can go on and on
I
with
go
that.
on for a long time.
But how can the voters who are watching this learn more about what you've done, get involved in your campaign, or just find out more about Bobby Curran?
Well, our website is under construction. I'm now going to have to become social media, a product of social media. The web page will be hopefully set up by this time next week, or I don't know what time this will be airing, but hopefully by withdrawal deadline, which is July 15th, my website will be online on construction. They can Google Bobby Curran or Robert W. Curran, council member, and I also have it on my literature that's going to be being printed as we speak.
Okay. Well, Councilman Curran, we wish you well. We thank
you.
you for taking the time out here and wish you all the best in your re-election efforts.
Well, I hope I had a couple more segments to talk, but I know you have a lot of
Yeah,
candidates
we've got
out there.
a little bit of time.
You probably edited some of this, but Hassan, it's been good to work with you on issues that that means for you, good to you, and good for us constituents, such as the 18-year-old voting, being able to serve in the city council.
Absolutely. It's been my pleasure as well. And we'll be back with more Value My Vote 20.